Good morning, students. This time on this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to take a regular picture like this one, but you want to give it a special effect, an outline. So we're gonna work with this picture. You guys can work with any picture that you want, and I'm gonna show you a few examples that I have for you. So on this picture, what I want to do is outline Pope Francis. So he'll be like this, and I can put a quote on the bottom. This is one of his quotes. So as you guys can see, the picture, all the people, I made them blurry, and I only outlined Pope Francis, and it gives it a really good effect because all of this, because this effect is going to take all the attention away from what's not important, and the people will focus on the thing that you want them to focus on. This case, for example, I took a picture of the Dalai Lama also, and I put all the background blurry so we can just focus on him. Also, I have this one, which is a soccer player, and you guys can do it also. I had this picture, and before I made the effect, all these players on the back, you can see them clearly. But after I applied the effect, I just want you guys to focus on the player, and I'm just gonna make everything besides blurry. Okay, so we're gonna start with this one, and for this one, before we get started, I just want you guys to remember a few things. So I just need you to remind you, here are some basic options that you guys will always need on your Photoshop. The zoom is going to be control and the plus sign. The zoom out will be the control and the minus sign. To copy something is going to be control and the C key. Paste, control and the V key. These ones, they work anywhere. They work in Word, they work in Excel, they work in PowerPoint, they will work everywhere. If you want to undo something that you did, you're gonna click Control Z once. You know, if you want to do something once, that's gonna be the key combination. But if you want to undo a lot of steps that you did, you will have to press the three keys. It's going to be a combination of three keys. It's going to be Control, it's going to be Alt, and it's going to be the letter C. Also, if you have made a selection and the lines are blinking, you're going to click Control and D to deselect. And if you guys want to change the size of your text, your picture, or your shape, or your line, will be Control T. This is going to work on your Photoshop. Okay, just to get this started, we're going to look for a picture. And let me look for my picture. You guys can look a picture of someone that you guys like, but on this assignment I want you guys to really make a really good work. So you will need to use all the options that I just gave you. Zoom out and zoom in, so you guys can see and you guys can really make a clean and nice effect. Okay, I'm gonna get my picture of Pope Francis, so I'm just gonna click open. Remember, on this one you guys do not need to create a new document because we're gonna work with the picture. So I'm just gonna click open. I'm gonna search for my picture where I have it, where I have my picture. So I'm gonna look for my picture. I'm gonna look for my picture of Pope Francis, and I'm gonna click open when I find it. So this is my picture, the one that I haven't made the effect on. So let me look for it. Okay, here's this one. Click open. I maximize, and we're gonna start by doing something on your background. This is your only layer that you guys have on your layer box. As you guys remember, this is locked for you guys do not make a mistake and you're gonna lose your original picture. So that's why it's always locked. I'm gonna go to the layer option on the top, and I'm gonna put new, and I'm gonna put a layer via copy. Okay, Now I have duplicated, or I have made a new layer from my original one, and this is this one. On this one we're gonna start working right now, and what I want you guys to do is to use the lasso tool. We can use another tool, but I want you guys to really know how to use the lasso tool. And what I want you guys to do is to start the outline. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you guys can do it closely, that will be great, because we're gonna get to use the eraser just to get all the things that we don't want into a picture away. Okay, so just do it. Just try to do it nicely, as closely as you guys can, so you guys can have a really good effect. So what I'm doing is this. I'm trying to outline what I want. Okay, now that I did it, I'm just gonna click the key combination to copy. You guys can go back, or you guys can write it down in your technology notebook, and the key combination that I will press is Control and Z to copy. I'm gonna make a new layer over here. You guys remember, is next to the trash can. So I'm gonna click new layer, and on this new layer I'm gonna paste, which is Control V. As you guys can see, now I have my if I take away the visualization from my other layer, I can really know what I just copied. Okay, I want you guys to take away the eyes from the first two layers, and we're gonna work on the second layer. What are we going to do? I want you guys to zoom in the most that you can, and we're gonna take our eraser. In our eraser, the size to change the size of our eraser is here, so you guys can choose the right size, so you guys can start erasing all the things that you guys don't want. Just leave the edges. Okay, I'm gonna pay really close attention to the effect that you guys have done. So I want you guys to really make a really good work. You have to make a really clean, good work. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause right now, and I'm gonna let you guys do it. Okay, now that I have deleted all the things that I don't want in my picture, what I'm gonna do is that on the layer 2, just on this one, the one that I'm working on, I want you guys to add a special effect, and the thing that we're gonna add is a stroke. It's the first one on the bottom. It's a stroke, so we're gonna click on it, and this is gonna help me just to find if I have things that I haven't erased yet, because sometimes you with the lasso tool can select something, can outline something and use the eraser and just leave a little thing on the top. So this, it tells me that my selection is clean. So I'm just gonna change the color of it. I'm just gonna go ahead and choose the yellow one. I don't need to increase the size of our stroke. Okay, my stroke is good. So now what I want you guys to do on the same on this same box, I want you guys to click the outer glow. And on the outer glow, the first thing that we're going to change is the opacity. We're going to take it all the way up to 100, and we're going to spread it out a little bit, and the size, we're going to increase the size of our glow, and this is the way it's going to look. We're going to click OK, and now I think that we're ready just to put the eyes on the other two layers, so we can see what are we doing. And this is almost the end of our effect. The only thing that we need to do is, as you guys can see, you still can see the other people, but what I want the people to focus on is my character, my main character, and the thing that he's doing right now. I want the people to focus on him. So I'm gonna make everything on the background where Pope Francis, except for Pope Francis and the child, I want to make it blurry, so I'm just going to use a filter. And this filter, since we're talking about this background, I'm going to go to my layer 1 on this one. I'm not going to work on this one anymore. I'm going to work on this one on my layer 1, and I'm going to apply a special filter. So I'm going to go to the filter options right here. I'm going to scroll down to the blur, and now I'm going to click where it says Gaussian blur. I'm going to click on the Gaussian blur, and on this one I have a 1. I'm going to increase it to number 10. So 2.3, 4, 9, 9.5, and there we go. Okay, so that's the way I want you guys to do it. This is 11.5, 10.5. We're just gonna leave it at 10.5, and we're gonna click OK. You guys can see the preview here, how it's gonna look, the blurriness in your picture. So I click OK, and now what I want you guys to do is just save this picture as a JPEG file. Once again, please try to do this in order, and please try to follow my directions. File, save as, name it with any name that you want. On this case, I want to name this one Pope Francis, and I'm gonna click the JPEG option. Okay, I want you guys to save this so I can have it as a picture and not as a PSD file. So just choose the location. I usually put my desktop because it is easier to find everything I want, and I'm gonna click save. As soon as you guys click save, you will get this message just trying to ask you what is the quality that you want. If you guys want a 12, the maximum quality, just leave it at 12. If you guys want to decrease, just go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna click OK, and your challenge is to do this, but also I want you guys to find a quote, and I want you guys to add a text. And to add a text, use the text tool. Try to make the text visible, and try to make it with a nice color. Okay guys, start working.